Over the years on Taste Utah, we've talked a lot about dough. From the grain farmed in fields, milled to perfection at central milling, coaxed into life through flavorful sourdough starters, and transformed into everything from crusty bread to flaky pastries. It's our favorite kind of Taste Utah story. Simple ingredients, flour, water, yeast, endless possibilities. But today, we're boiling things down. Literally, because we're talking bagels. Real bagels, East Coast bagels, boiled, baked, blistered, and best eaten warm at Cheryl's Bagels in Bountiful. As a New Jersey transplant, Cheryl moved to Bountiful and immediately started looking for her community and a taste of home, and found nada. No shop, no bagel worth its salt. So she did what any Jersey-born perfectionist with a heart of gold would do. She made her own. Cheryl doesn't mess around when it comes to bagels. She's chasing that perfect chew, that glossy finish, and just right bite. And she's building something bigger while she's at it, a community. It takes 3 days for these beauties to grace the display case. No toaster, because a toasted bagel is reserved for day old, which they don't sell. Just bagels that demand to be eaten now, if you can get your hands on them before they're gone. They sell out fast. Because when it's done right, people show up. And when it's offered with care and a sprinkle of Jersey flair, community is the result. We're diving into the craft, the culture, and the charisma behind one seriously good bagel this week on Taste Utah.
Cheryl, you are Cheryl of Cheryl's Bagels.
That's the rumor, yep.
Yeah, these are your bagels.
They are.
How long have you been making bagels for?
I started making bagels during COVID.
During COVID, okay.
During COVID. Never made bagels before, and everybody else was making sourdough, and I missed my Jersey bagels, so I said, let's try.
Born and raised in Jersey?
Oh, everything. Yep.
Okay, and I think what is so special and what many people don't realize if you've never lived on the East Coast or you're not from the East Coast, just how culturally important bagels are.
On a Saturday, mom and dad would go to the bagel store, they'd pick up a dozen, bring them home. If you were really feeling special, you might get a flavored cream cheese, they'd bring it home.
Okay.
But usually, because the most economical way to do it was you'd bring a dozen home, you'd get some cream cheese, and it was a big Saturday or Sunday thing. You'd come home and then you'd stick your face in the bag because it smelled so nice.
I mean, speaking of, these smell ridiculously fragrant.
Yeah, so it was a big thing. So it happens when you're little and it just follows you through. And even you become a teenager and then you have some disposable income, so you go buy a bagel sandwich then.
Okay,
right? So you kind of
now
step
you're
it
getting
up.
fancy.
You're getting fancy because, if your parents were economical, they're not buying that for you.
Yeah.
At least mine weren't.
Well, because they're not buying a bagel sandwich for all
Correct.
4 or 5 children.
And so you'd kind of morph through your life. You'd, I'm getting a bacon, egg, and cheese or a pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Okay.
And so as you go, and that's the thing you look for. So you go to college, and then you're looking for the bagel store on the East Coast for college.
Yes.
Or that you locate, and you're like, where's the bagel store? It's kind of the first thing that seems to anchor you. When I built this store, that's what I wanted. I wanted to be part of a community. I'm at my best when I feel like I'm part of something.
Yes.
So I wanted to be part of a community, and the people in Bountiful are amazing, and I've seen moms come in and tell me they're pregnant. I've watched them, grow and then have the baby, bring the baby back, and I do feel very much part of the community, and that's where I'm happiest, knowing that people make this part of their lives.
And I think what's so fun is when you move from somewhere and you seek those things that you really love and that are meaningful for you, those places of connection are also places that are really meaningful for other people. So you have a shared history and a shared love of something that you already know, and then you build and grow off of that. And that's sort of what you've done here.
People get very excited. Like I say, people with these kind of bagels fall into 2 categories. They've never had an East Coast bagel, and so we're introducing them to something new.
Love that.
And then there's the population that has had them and are excited to find them here.
It's so special.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I get a big charge out of seeing people excited.
Will you tell us which ones you made for us today, and then maybe just go over what is on the table in front of us?
I mean, we pretty much made every bagel that we have.
Okay.
So we have a classic plain, which I say to somebody, if you're gonna try something, you try that.
Okay.
Literally just rip into it. We have onion and garlic right here. Here's our onion and garlic.
Okay.
They're sometimes hard to tell apart. A lot of bagel shops don't make these. they're hard because the onion and garlic burn easily.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes you won't find them making them because they're not so easy. Poppy is a classic. People love poppy with something sweet. Sesame.
Nice and savory.
Right? Your classic everything. We make the most in the course of a day, any day. Most plain, the most everything.
Okay.
Because those are your classics. That's what people
I mean,
go
that's
after.
kind of extreme, right? Either put it all on there
All
or
on there
don't
or
give me anything.
Right. This is a little homage to my heritage. This is a za'atar bagel.
Ooh.
So it's a combination salt, sesame, and thyme.
Love
that goes on the top of that. That's very nice with a sweet cream cheese.
Za'atar, and
Za'atar.
I love the pronunciation because it looks like a za'atar.
Correct.
But you just don't. You drop the R.
You drop the R.
And you
So
extend the
za'atar.
A's. Za'atar. I love it.
So that we also make a salt and a rosemary salt. Ooh. Now the salt and pepper is a little more mild because we use a finer salt. The salt and rosemary salt, 2 different bagels. We use a much bigger, coarse.
Okay, it almost looks like a rock salt.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so it is very salty. People really seem to like it.
Yeah. In Salt Lake City and by
I know,
the Great
kind of
Salt
funny.
Lake
I never
and
thought of it that
Bountiful.
way.
Yeah.
And this is not a mistake.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind
Good.
of
Yeah.
funny.
I've
I
never
know.
seen one of these, so I was like, we have to talk about it. So cute.
What happens at the end of the rolling, you'll find that you have a little dough left over, but maybe not enough to make a bagel.
Yeah.
Right. So the baker, what she does is she'll create a couple balls for me.
Yeah.
And what I do throughout the course of the day is when little kids come in, I like to be able to give them a bagel bowl because it's kind of weird. It fits their hand. It's unusual, and they get a huge kick out of it.
That
and
is so
I'm not
cute.
gonna lie, I get a big kick out of it
Yeah.
too because when you're like a little kid, this is like my size.
Yeah.
So any given day, there might be 1 or 2, not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because usually it's less than
So
makes a bagel.
I mean, that's the thing that's so fun is like when you get it, it is special.
It is.
And
There's not a ton of them.
Yeah.
There's only like
totally.
maybe at most 4
Oh,
in the course of a day.
that's
And
so
so
fun.
like if you're the coveted one who gets a little bagel ball, it is a treat. And I have to be honest with you, I get a huge kick out of kids.
It's such a labor of love, and it's so systematic and really intentional in every step along the way. It's just not something that most people would choose to do for themselves.
It's labor intensive.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. It's, I want a bagel, I'll make it. You're talking 3 days later.
Yeah.
Right? There's no I'll just make one for today. So we will make dough and roll it on day 1.
Okay.
Then they get shaped, they go onto racks, and they get put in the walk-in for 2 days. And then on the 3rd day, they come out.
Okay.
We proof them a little bit there, warm them up a little bit. Then they get kettled, that's behind me, and then they get put in the oven and baked, and that's when we serve them. So whatever we bake for the day is what goes out. If there happens to be anything left over, staff gets to take it home if they want. We might give it away, we donate it.
That's so cool. And I mean, it's one of those things where you really want to come to the storefront because that is where you're experiencing a Cheryl's bagel optimally. And that's the experience you want people to have.
We're back on Taste Utah, where the bagels may be the headliner, but it's actually the cream cheese that might be the scene stealer. Because at Cheryl's Bagels, nothing plays second fiddle. Every schmear is made in-house, whipped, folded, and flavored with the same no shortcuts philosophy as the bagels themselves. We're talking classics done right, but also a rotating cast of bold, unexpected flavors that keep regulars on their toes and newcomers coming back for more. It's creative, it's craveable, and yes, it might just change your bagel order for good. We're diving into the magic behind the schmear.
These are all of our cream cheeses.
Yeah, tell us about
These are
them.
some of them.
I'll take some tips, yeah.
Taste it all you want. So we call it falling into 2 camps, sweet or savory.
Yeah.
Right? And so people don't often cross over those. I'm a savory, and some people live in their sweet camp.
Okay.
So our sweet ones here are, we have a strawberry and a blueberry. I'm gonna move this over here so you can keep those together.
Yeah.
And a cinnamon sugar.
Okay. I like
and
it.
we do everything in small batch. So we'll make only 5 pounds of something at a time, and then we might make it 3 times a week.
Ooh, so you're making all of these?
We make all the cream cheeses, yeah.
Cheryl, that is phenomenal.
We make the cream cheeses.
That is so fun.
So we often laugh, someone will come in and ask for a recommendation, which is traumatizing to me because I'm like, oh, one more thing I have to think about, please. And the first question I'll ask them is sweet or savory.
I love it.
And if they say sweet, I direct them to somebody else in the staff.
Oh, okay,
I'm like,
because that's not your thing.
To me, bagels were always savory. A bagel
Yeah.
with some type of savory cream cheese, not as sweet.
Okay.
So we do develop sweet cream cheeses.
Okay. I just tried all the sweets.
Do you have
And
a
then
favorite?
I mean, I'm a sucker for cinnamon. I like love cinnamon on anything.
If I had to choose one, it would be cinnamon.
It's so good. It's like just enough cinnamon, and then it's like light and airy, and it goes so well with the crispiness of the bacon.
Yeah. And then my savories, what do we have here? I'm gonna move these out of the way on you. So we have, that's a bacon scallion.
Ooh.
And a scallion. So it's the same cream cheese without bacon in it. So for those people who really don't want to eat that.
Okay.
Then we've got a cheddar jalapeno.
Okay.
Which, when I developed that, my son James, who has a sandwich here, he helped me make that because I don't really like spicy.
Oh.
So when we started mixing it, and I said to him, "Here, taste it. What do you think?" He says, "It could use more spice, Mom." I said, "Fine, it's perfect," because he likes really hot things, and we don't need to do that.
Yes. You're not looking to fry people's palates.
This one's a veggie.
Okay.
That is probably one of my favorites.
Ooh.
And this one is green olive, which is very classic New Jersey.
I love
green
that.
olive pimento. That is our cream cheese. We try to do a special cream cheese every month.
Okay.
A lot of our cream cheeses, we call them two-note.
Okay.
Right, so like the blueberry lemon, you'll get hit with the blueberry first, and then after a few seconds, the lemon comes in second.
Okay.
Right, so we had last month or 2 months ago, we did a chili crisp.
Ooh.
You got hit with one flavor first and the second flavor afterwards.
I love pimento cheese. That's a very
that's really good.
very southern thing. Is that a big New Jersey thing as well?
The green olive and the cream cheese is.
Okay.
Yeah. The green olive is. That's I could literally eat that one with a spoon.
Back in the day when you started, you were actually doing all of this by hand.
Yes, I actually had a second kitchen in my house, and it was completely dedicated to bagels.
Yeah.
I hand rolled. I think I lost count at somewhere upwards of about 500,000 bagels.
500,000 bagels. Holy
By hand.
cow. Yeah.
So we opened this place up, and I was still hand rolling them with the intention of teaching people. And two things happened. People found it very difficult to catch on. I think there's that you become an expert at 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
And
Deliberate practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think it was very hard for somebody to learn. And me being me, I had a certain expectation for them to leave the shop. And then the other thing was I actually got carpal tunnel syndrome.
Yeah.
And ended up having to have surgery on both my hands.
I mean,
and
from bagels.
So I made the decision to get a bagel roller.
Okay.
And it took us almost a year to get it.
Wow.
And even then, I have to be very honest with you, I kind of felt like I had, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like compromised.
I had compromised. I had compromised. And I'm like, I felt really bad. And I'm like, and then I was like, wow, you know what? If I don't do this, I won't have a business. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
As it turns out, it's just a tool. We still matter very much. It's not like they're cookie cutter. How we make the dough, how we load it in directly responds to how they come out. So it's not like, we're not needed anymore, because there's a lot involved. It's just an extension of us.
Yeah.
Right. So we're constantly looking at them, and there are days where we're very excited. I'm like, they're beautiful today. Years later, we still get excited when the bagels are out, and some are just pretty. There are certain flavors that when you look at them, like the sesame, to me, this one is the most pretty. To me, that's the prettiest bagel ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the way the sesames fall on it. I get excited.
And they're toasted. They're different color.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And poppies are annoying to me because those little tiny seeds get everywhere, but it is the prettiest bagel.
It's so beautiful.
And I think that's it. It's not just food to me anymore.
Yeah.
It's still kind of a little bit of art.
Yeah. I mean, I think the best food is, we talk about on the show a lot, where it's like the chemical process to make sure that you have enough gluten that's going to bind in ways with the yeast and the starch that's going to eat it, and the way everything has to come together to form something else. When science and art meet, it's called alchemy, and you have two things that are completely different when you look at them, that become a whole thing, which is so special. And in this case, 5 ingredients, and then
true.
whatever else you
will often
put
hear
on it.
people say people either bake or they cook, right?
Totally.
And how cooking is an art, baking is a science. This one matches both pieces.
Yeah.
It is a science because it is baking, but at some point it turns into an art.
Yeah.
Because you have to look at them in the oven, you have to know when you can flip them. You can't do it by a timer.
Even with the kettle, you were poking at them, to see, like, is this ready? And you were turning them and moving them around. And And even your baker, and tell us her name and tell us a little bit about her.
Tanya, she's amazing. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. She was actually a barista before she came to Cheryl's Bagels. And I taught her stuff and we learned together. And what the best part about it is we have somebody to bounce something off of, because you know what, everything doesn't go right all the time. And you're like banging your head against a wall. You're like, why is it not working? So the two of us, based on this experience we both have now, will be like, hey, let's do this. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's try this. We laugh and, you know, we look at them and we analyze them.
Yeah,
and
you really care. Like that was what was so apparent to me, is that it was like this infusion of love, not just in like the creation process of the dough and then the shaping them, but it was like, you know, she was so meticulous as she stood at the oven, and then she has to know when to flip it. And you have 4 different levels in that oven.
4-deck rotating oven.
Yeah. And so you have to know when to flip it so that you don't burn others, and then you're loading them into that little side of the
trough. We call it a trough.
Yeah, I love it. Bagel trough. And then the timing, the precision.
We call it a dance.
Yeah, well said.
We call it a dance. When the dance works well, it is so fluid. And when the dance doesn't work well, it's like a comedy of errors and things are flying. And today the dance worked beautifully for you guys, so it was kind of nice.
Well, it was a well-oiled machine. It was so impressive, and I think, you know, the even the walk-in that holds these bagels that you had to make 2 days ago so that we could cook them off today.
Correct.
Like, it really is this beautiful flow and dance and energy of moving from one to the other, and then the process of getting them fresh out of the oven as well.
We're back on Taste Utah at Cheryl's Bagels in Bountiful, where the bagel exterior matters, but it's what's inside that matters most. Sometimes it's not about what's sprinkled on top. It's about what's stacked in the middle. We're talking bagel sandwiches that walk the line between comfort and craft through thoughtful combinations, bold flavors, and just the right balance of texture, built on a foundation that can actually hold its own. This is where Cheryl really flexes, layering her signature bagels with house-made spreads, quality ingredients, and even an homage to a classic Jersey OG. It's elevated, it's satisfying, and it proves one thing: a great bagel is just the beginning. We might have saved the best for last with the art of the bagel sandwich, but let's be real, everything at Cheryl's is all harder.
You're holding a very classic pork roll, egg, and cheese.
I love it.
So in New Jersey, depending upon where you actually live, you will hear people call it 2 things.
Okay.
Pork roll or Taylor ham. They're actually exactly the same thing.
Okay.
The company is Taylor's pork roll.
Oh,
and there were some issues with it didn't contain enough of this back in the day, so they actually changed it. So you live in northern New Jersey, it's Taylor ham. If you live mid to southern Jersey, it's pork roll.
Okay.
So when I first opened the store, I put Taylor ham. There are way more people in Utah from mid to south New Jersey because the things they said to me, I finally gave up defending it and I changed it to pork roll.
It's just pork roll, but guess what? It's all the same thing.
It is.
And you're actually importing it.
We have it shipped in. We have it shipped in from New Jersey. They only make it there. One company makes it. And we ship in about 100 pounds every couple of months.
And then what do you have in front of you?
So what do we have in front of me? We have chicken salad.
Okay.
So the chicken salad does make me laugh, I will say, because when I first decided to introduce chicken salad, people would ask me constantly, what's in it? And I would get this blank look on my face and I would be like, chicken? And they're like, no, what else is in it? I'm like, chicken, scallion, celery, salt and pepper, mayonnaise. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they'd order it. And it happened multiple times. And I finally said to somebody, are you looking for something else to be in there or to not be in there? And they had said to not be in there. And I said, what else would be in there?
Grapes.
And they're grapes, nuts,
walnuts,
other things. And I'm like, people put those in chicken salad? I did not know that.
Yeah, I love it. And that's another like fun cultural thing.
I did not know that at all. And I think that's why people like it, because I use the word simple, basic.
Yeah.
It's chicken.
Yeah.
And another person asked me what brand of canned chicken did I use. And I looked at them again with this terribly blank face and said, chicken comes in a can? I didn't know chicken comes in a can.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I said, no, we get raw chicken breast. We poach the chicken breast and we cook it for this.
Which is another step in the process of
Yeah.
even being able to execute that bagel sandwich.
Yeah.
It's such a phenomenal thing because
yeah.
it is taking this part of history, this part of your history, and then you're allowing people in Utah, whether they're familiar with it and it brings them some nostalgia, or they're not, and you get to introduce them to
Yeah.
it. You're bringing that part of who you are and that part of the country here for people to taste. And it's one of my favorite Taste Utah kind of stories because we wouldn't have this experience without you. So we're so glad that not only did you come here, but you have become such an integral part of our food community.
See, I feel the other way. I feel blessed that people let me,
Oh.
right? Because you don't have to welcome a stranger. You don't have to
Yeah.
welcome weird stuff.
When you come bearing
know.
food, it's like, you know, we will
But
welcome
I
you.
feel that, like I feel grateful. I opened the store, and I don't think we were open 3 weeks. My mom passed away, and I didn't have enough staff. I didn't have anybody to roll. We shut down the store.
Yeah.
We shut down the store. I was only open like 3 weeks. I came back, and customers were like, they brought me a card. They were sorry. It makes you feel loved.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not feel part of a community?
That is so sweet, and I'll say it. I believe it is that synergy. I think it takes a lot, as you've mentioned, to create an idea and then to be like, I never planned on doing this, but it seems like this is like a happenstance. And we hear it in the restaurant industry a lot, where it's like, oh yeah, I just did something that I loved that brought me joy, and then I realized that it brought other people joy, and then by them feeling joy, they were able to share their joy back with me in other ways. So it became this conduit for connection, and really that's what food is. It's this beautiful handing off and sharing of lives and humanity and the things that make us happy and the things that are difficult, and truly honoring and seeing each other. And I think that's what you're doing here.
Honestly, it doesn't matter how good our bagels would be. If people didn't want them or appreciate them or keep coming back, we still wouldn't have a business. So really, for me, I'm just really, really grateful that people consider us part of their lives.